Hello ladies, gents, boys and girls, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Today we're back in the IFly 737 MAX 8, sat on the ground here as Icelandair 671 with service on a very long flight in the 737 over to Denver. Flight time of 7 hours and 35 minutes. This is a real world scheduled flight that Icelandair operate. I couldn't quite believe it when I saw it. I did think they'd send one of the 7.5s over, but no, we're doing it in the MAX 8. The poor passengers who are going to be crammed on this thing for the next 7.5 hours. We're going to be taking 150 passengers, taking just over 20 tonnes of fuel, and we're taking about 2,500 kilograms of baggage. Like I said, flight time is 7.5 hours. I wish it was 2.5 hours. Departing out of Iceland off of runway 01. We're going to be over Greenland for a large section of flight, descending over Canada, and then finally into Denver. Winds are variable at the moment, so I don't know what a runway we'll be arriving on into Denver. We've got loads to choose from. Anyway, let's jump into the flight deck and get everything set up for departure. So, welcome into the flight deck. As you can see, the Shift plus C enter aircraft bug is still here. We are using the sim update for beta. We've got GPU power on. We'll jump into the captain's seat. We'll go overhead panel, get the IRSs to the nav position. We'll go get the entertainment screens on. They're going to need that today. Window heat's already on. And we'll jump into the FMC, and we'll get the auto brake to RTO, and we'll reset the fuel flow, and we'll get left GPS, and we are at Reykjavik, BIKF, and we'll into that, and we're going to KDEN, and we'll request flight plan, and we're going to get the payload and performance plugged in. So we're taking 150 passengers. And the cargo today are going to be taking 1,250 in the forward hold and 1,100 in the aft. And then the fuel today, I want a bit extra. We'll take that if it will let us. No, I think that's the max, isn't it? So we'll take 20 tonnes. Take 20. That should be enough to get us there. We'll complete that, and we've got 20 tonnes of fuel. We're a heavy aeroplane today. 6 pumps can come on, APU can come on. It is really cold, and we'll get ready to turn the temperature right up for those passengers before we let them board. Load our flight plan. And we are ICE671. Execute. Runway 01 for departure. We are departing on the 3 Alpha. And the arrival today, we'll just plug in the arrival each give us. That will change though. So it's giving us ILS 26 on the Lander 3 via Bravo Foxtrot. Execute that. We'll go legs, and we'll just have a look at the flight plan. We'll go through there. Just go through it again, but with the range extended a little bit, and that looks okay there. So we're happy with that. That'll be changed on the arrival anyway. Get the range rings on both sides, and we'll sync the QNH. Left gen, right, well not left gen, right gen. Left and right APU can come on. And we'll get the bleeds on. Get some hot air into the cabin. Crest boarding now.
Boarding requested.
And GSX can start the boarding process. This is MK Studios, Reykjavik. We need 19 0.7 tonnes of fuel to get there safely. We're going to be taking 19.6, sorry, 19.6 to get there safely. And 2.9 is the reserve. We are cruising at 340 initially. The cruise wind's at 340, 264 at 33, sorry. And we'll go, it's positive 3 for the ISA. And we'll request our winds so we get an updated time of arrival.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And we'll wait to execute that, which is there. Execute. Lovely. Right, looking at the charts now.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
So, takeoff page. Now I'm hoping that the iFly Max, it's got a very sensitive performance calculator, so it might say we can't take off, but we can. Off and on, and it's given us selected temperature 32 degrees.
Locking gear.
Flap 5, trim 706 and 160. Set in the MCP. Right, that is lovely. Left flight director, right flight director. And let's have a look at the chart for today's departure. And we're on the... which one are we on? That one there. Is there any stop altitude? Not that I can see. Initial climb cleared by ATC. Okay, right. We'll just plug in 6,000 then. That'll be all. And we need 012. Lovely. LNAV VNAV for departure. And that is everything set up, basically. And the seatbelt sign, come on now. Lovely, right, that's everything set up for departure. We'll wait for GSX to finish boarding and we'll jump back in when we are ready for push and start. Right, so GSX has completed boarding. We are all loaded up and ready to go. What we'll do is, if I can find the page, because it takes 1,000 days to find it on this EFB, we'll release all of those and we'll ask GSX to give us a push. And we would like tail left.
Release parking brakes.
We won't leave the parking brake just yet because we need to wait for the rear stairs to get away from the aeroplane, as you can see. And this livery looks really, really nice. Right, they're safely away. Parking brake released.
Push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Engine number 2 to ground. It's quite cold outside, so booting shouldn't take us long. And it's finished, and we throw the fuel in. Right, engine number 2 has started nicely. And engine number 1's ground. And we are waiting for motoring to finish. Which it has.
Set parking brake. Waiting your confirmations for a good
Fuel
engine
in.
start.
Tell GSX we've got
Cockpit to
2 good
ground.
engine starts.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
And the sounds on this aeroplane are brilliant. This is one of the best all-in-one aeroplanes on the sim. I'd rank this up there with the Phoenix.
Unlocking gear.
Quite a high EGT on engine number 1 there. Went right up to the red bar. It's rolling back nicely now, but that was nearly me pulling the engine fuel cut-off
Contact
switches
disconnected.
there.
Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
And the poor tug driver has been run over. Lovely. Well, not the tug driver, the lady with the bypass pin. And that has been shown. Left gen, right gen, taxi light on, APU off, start switch is continuous. Probe heats on, packs auto, isolation valve, APU bleed, flaps position 5. And ready for the flight control check. So, wait for the flaps to extend. We'll start extending at least, and it's gone green, so we'll go full right and neutral, full left and neutral, forward and full back. And for the rudders now, full left and full right. All flight controls are free and correct. We are ready for taxi. And let's rock and roll down to 01. Right, so on runway 01, ready for takeoff. Clock, or chrono on, sorry. It's probably going to be a very long takeoff roll for the 737 MAX. So forward pressure on the yoke, 40% stable. Toga. Maintaining centre line with a little bit of left rudder. Feed that bit more in now. 80 knots for neutral. A little bit of ailerons to keep the wings level for rotation. V1 and pull back, rotate, keeping those wings level. Beautiful. Positive rate, we'll go gear up. Onto the flight directors now. Feels very nice to fly when it's heavy, the IFly. Very nice. Nicely trimmed out, wing view. Goodbye Iceland. That looks very nice down there, doesn't it? Flaps 1. And slow rate of climb out. You are very heavy. There's that left hand turn. Still hand flying. Hand flies beautifully, the IFly. So stable in the air. And it doesn't feel like you're on rails either. It's very nice. Right, all trimmed out. Command A. There's the 1,000-foot horn. Oh, I turned off the wrong light, didn't I? Yeah, I turned off the anti-collision and didn't put the strobes on. My mistake. Sorry for that. Right. Leveled off nicely now. We're out of sight of anyone really, so what we'll do is there any restrictions? No. Okay, we'll bug up to 340 cruise. And we'll just out intervene. Thrust is building. And pitch in for climb. Cabin crew can be released, start their in-flight service, standard barometric pressure. And away we go. Goodbye Iceland. Next little bit of land we'll see will be Greenland, I believe. So we can turn down the heating now, as when we get up to cruise, it'll be too warm. And that's pretty much it, guys. Now we are climbing quite nicely. Everything's going as planned. So what I'll do is I'll leave you with some lovely cruise and climb highlights, and I'll see you in the descent in approximately 7 hours when we're descending into Denver. into the flight deck of the 737 MAX 8. What a lovely flight it's been. There's Denver International Airport off to our 12 o'clock, directly in front of us. What a huge airport it is. We have changed runways actually. We are now arriving onto, let me just double check because there's so many runways here in Denver. I think it's 3-5 left. Yeah, 3-5 left. We're arriving on now, which is where the plane really landed. We've plugged in the ILS courses and everything's plugged in correctly, which it has. And we've got the minimum set as well. Everything's looking quite nice. We've changed the arrival, but I think here they give you vectors, don't they, to the approach. So I'm just going to vector myself onto a final. The approach that SimBrief gave us gives it quite a long final, 20 miles or so. I'm not doing a 20-mile final. I'll cut it at about 10. But there is Denver, looking very nice down there. It's Xcode as Denver. I think it's the same people who do the one in X-Plane. It's a very nice scenery actually. Denver's always interested me. I watched a documentary about Denver a couple of years ago about the UFO conspiracy and the horse and stuff. It's quite a cool looking airport. Who keeps closing this bloody window blind? The flight's been going quite smooth so far. The IFly has handled everything brilliantly. We climbed up to 360 just after we entered Canadian airspace. We were sat at 360 for the remainder of the flight. Quite smooth flight conditions actually, all the way here. And it's been very nice weather as we've entered into the USA. Now Denver, very high elevation airport, so the air's not as dense. So I do apologise if I do smash it in. There's my excuse. Ow. I'll try not to smash it in, I will try. If we were flying an Airbus it would have been a smash, but the 737, any Boeing aeroplane I'm quite good at landing, it's just the Airbus that I absolutely hate. We'll go vertical speed now, slow it right down. And with terrain level of detail, 400, it looks crisp and clear outside. And there's downtown Denver loaded in. What's there to do in Denver? It seems like the middle of nowhere. What a huge airport. Christ, you couldn't get one of these in England. And the airport hasn't loaded in yet because of the object level of detail's not high, because we are using auto FPS. Really looking forward. After I've been flying the Max for a while in the last couple of videos. I think we did a Ryanair flight and a Norwegian in the last two with the 73. But I am so excited for the NGs to come out by PMDG, especially if the Boris Audio Works sound pack works first time with it. We're going to be doing lots of operations in a certain airline with the 737. But I'm very much looking forward to flying that aeroplane. It's such a good aeroplane to fly. So hopefully that should be out in a couple of weeks or so. It might be even sooner than that. They did announce that it was soon TM 2 weeks ago, I believe now. So usually that means a month. So we're probably 2 weeks away. Probably, what time is it now? What day is it? Sorry. Well, probably mid-November. So let's have a look at the charts at the altitudes it wants us at certain points. Now we're not going to do the full arrival, as you can see it's quite a long drawn out arrival. So what we'll do is we'll do a little base turn downwind leg, and we shall cut it in at a point, but I want to make sure that the altitude that that point is at we meet, so I don't want to cut it too short. Now it's slightly confusing here at Denver because the airport's so high. Usually you'd be looking at about 3,000 feet, but no, the airport's at 5,500 feet altitude, so we are quite low at the moment. So just VS to finesse in at 13,000 feet. Actually what we'll do, we'll swing it in a little bit. Hit 170. And that looks beautiful down there. And I still can't believe Icelandair used this 737 MAX 8 on this flight. I thought it was a stand-in when I saw it on a flight radar, but no, this is the plane that does that flight. It's very cool. Right, 13,000 feet. We'll go down to 9 is the altitude of the waypoint we want to go to, and we'll go level change. Just leave it like that. Shallow descent, don't need anything stupid. And there's downtown Denver. Luckily, when the plane lands on the runway we're landing on now, the terminal we need is literally the first exit off. So that's quite convenient. And we're going to be taking one of the 40 stands. So, go LNAV, bang on VNAV profile, whack it into VNAV, look at that hunky-dory. And we'll start slowing down now actually, we're 220 knots. Right, lights can come on now, through 10,000 feet. Can't believe we've only just gone through 10,000 feet and we're about to join the ILS. Go vertical speed, slow, ready to send down. Flaps position 1 with speed brake. What a sight that is out there. Beautiful. The photogrammetry around the US is fantastic. It's what I like flying around here now in 2024. Go down to 210 knots. Match up the courses. So if we get off there, we can just turn first left and we're on the taxiway that we need. Right, slow the rate descent down. Approach mode coming shortly. Just wait for the glide slope. There you go. Well, not the glide slope, the localizer to come live. Glide slope alive, glide slope looks to be captured. Single channel, flaps 5. Look at that move. There is absolutely nothing around this airport, is there?
$2,500.
On the speed brake, there's 2,500. Speed's coming back slowly now. Gear down, go a bit early. Go 160 knots with flat 15. Taxi light on, start switch is continuous. Cabin crew advised to sit down, order brake 2 is set. Flap 30, final approach speed 150 knots. Now a real pilot told me, 737 captain, that trick to get a smooth landing on a runway that's quite long. You can't really mess around on a short runway, so the airport that I currently fly out of, a cabin crew, you can't really mess around at. But when we land at longer runways, you add 5 knots like normal, but if you want a smoother landing, for every knot the nose of the plane goes down slightly, so he adds about 2 to 3 knots depending on runway length and conditions, and that usually gets him a nice smooth landing. So we're going to try that trick today. I've added 2 knots on, so we've got 150 knots. I don't know if you can do the same trick on the Airbus, I just know the Boeing guys do it. Especially when we do sort of longer flights to Antalya, the runway's really long, so they had a couple of knots on to get a smoother landing.
1,000.
But if you're going into Bristol or something, you can't really mess around. Right, we'll match the thrust levers up. And I'll disconnect the autopilot. And it's my aeroplane. Nice, smooth and stable. Winds are calm. It's all looking good. So I find that my throttles with the iFly Max, I might need to put a curve on them. I only move them a little bit, and I get quite large changes in thrust. I've got used to it though, so that is what I'm using now. Sort of technique to only move it a couple of millimetres to get that sort of thrust I need.
300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
Continue. Looking nice and stable.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20.
Hold
10.
it there. Perfect. Speed brakes are up. Reverses are green. Holding the nose. That's probably the best landing I've ever done in the iFly. Don't want to burn the brakes up, we'll just use this to get off here. And we've made the exit we wanted anyway. That is a job well done. Welcome down to Denver. Alright, lights can come off now. Flight director's off. We'll leave the APU for a minute. We've still got quite a bit of a taxi. And there's the terminal over there that looks like a circus shed. Or a circus tent, sorry. And then the bridge. I'm assuming there's underground monorails or something to get to like the other terminals, because it's quite a long distance. Right, GSX, the A gates, we're going to go for. Keep going. One more. 45A medium. No follow me car. And this looks like us here. APU can start switch is off. Flaps come in now. cleaning up the aeroplane nicely. And I'm happy with the sim so far now, so I'm going to download FSLTL and get some traffic injected with some VATSIM, I think, on the next video. This is a glitch in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. If I go outside, look, it'll clear now. There you go. I don't know why it does that. And it's gone. We're always so far away from the terminal, I don't even know where we're going to park. I can't even see the signs. I think I can see our GSX crew over there. Yeah, that looks like GSX over there. So we'll just bang it into there. Again, this is Xcode, it's Denver. Payware scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It does look really nice. Right. Yeah, this looks like GSX here. It's not down there, is it? Nope. That's 45A, that's our stand. Just to double check, yeah, 45A. So, call it a day there. Stand on the brakes, parking brake on, APU on the bus, taxi light off, engine start switches to off, and welcome down to Denver. So guys, welcome down to Denver. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Really nice flying the IFly 737 MAX again. In a very strange route. It's a very cool route that Icelandair run. I do really like their new liveries as well. They're pretty good, aren't they? They look the business. Don't pay attention to the GSX man loading bags onto nothing. It's just a GSX bug. Typical GSX shenanigans. But I hope you enjoyed that 7.5 hour sector in the iFly 737 MAX. It really was enjoyable. I'm really loving Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I'm getting used to all of its quirks, and it's actually a really good sim now. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be coming out shortly after this one. We'll be flying from Denver to Frankfurt in the A340-300. That'll be an interesting one. So, I'll see you then.